Now, the college football playoff continues New Year's Eve with the quarterfinals round getting underway, and college football fans everywhere are hoping the matchups are much more competitive, as we can say, than the first round matchups. For more on this, let's go ahead and welcome in our own college football analyst, Damien Harris, for more. And Damien, right off the bat, I am being told that you have something to get off your chest to mention to the playoff community and also to the college football fans everywhere who are upset right now.
Well, big surprise, because it's not like I've said this before, but 12 teams is too many. Like, we can all say it in agreement now. I think that whenever you get to 8 through 12, there's just too many inconsistencies. There's too many things that have made this a obviously flawed system. And I just think that there needs to be something about it. Like I said, at the beginning of the year, and I feel stronger about it now than I have all season long. I just think that 12 teams is too many. I think they've let too many people, quote unquote, deserve an opportunity to play for a national championship. I just think it's too many teams. I think it's watered down some of the competition. At the end of the day, we need to scale it down. And the committee definitely needs to do something about this going into the next season.
What would be your magic number? That would it be 8?
6. Give me 6. I think 6 or 8 is the sweet spot. But if I could have it my way, which I'm sure a lot of people would say, well, you can't have it your way, so nobody cares. But if I could have it my way, I would do 6 teams. I would give 2 teams a bye, let the other 4 play it out, and then you have your final 4.
All right, well, not only surprising here that fans have a problem with the amount of teams that are in, the formula of how teams get in, but they also have problems with the seeding and where teams rank. A lot of fans upset, saying that Oregon's path to the national title is unfair. What do you say to those people?
I say you're crazy, and I say it for 3 reasons. Number 1, Oregon is the best team in the country. They have been the best team in the country all season long. So guess what? That's the price you pay whenever you're the best. You got to play the best. You got to beat the best. Number 2, I think that it's starting to create an idea, like we've even talked about on our show with McKenzie. The more favorable spot is a 5 seed or a lesser seed. So to me, it seems like we're encouraging mediocrity, in whether it's in coaching, whether it's in playing, because we've created an idea by saying that Oregon's the number 1 team. They've got the hardest road, but that you don't want the hardest road. It's about what's the easiest path nowadays. So I'm afraid that coaches are going to start coaching to get more advantageous seeds as opposed to the 1 seed. I'm afraid that players are going to start playing to that same lack of competitiveness. That's something that I've worried about all year. And number 3, I'm pretty sure, because I've seen Dan Lanning. I know the way that he coaches. I know the way that he runs his operation. I guarantee you, whenever he started to hear people talk about, oh, well, our road is too hard and we've got to play some tough teams, I bet he looked his players right in the face and said, I wouldn't have it any other way. To be the best, you got to beat the best. And that starts with this weekend against an Ohio State team that looked like one of the best in the country. I guarantee you this Dan Lanning coach team has the confidence, they have the moxie to want to play the best and beat the best and not have an asterisk beside their national championship, because then if they had an even easier road, people would be complaining about, they were playing in 2 lopsided of games or all these other things. No, they want the hardest road. They want to beat the Ohio States. They want to beat the top dogs, because all year long they have been the top dog, and they want to stay that way.
Well, you alluded to it. It continues for Oregon on New Year's Day when they do see that Ohio State team in the Rose Bowl. How do you see this game playing out?
I think it's going to be a really good rematch of what we saw the first time. What's super impressive about both of these teams is they've both improved a lot since that last matchup. Oregon has continued to stay on a smooth trajectory into that number 1 spot. And at times, Ohio State has looked bad, but at times they look really great. And I think the last edition of this Ohio State team that we saw was the best version that we've seen all year. I think that looked like a national championship caliber team. I think it's going to be an offensive firework display if Will Howard can still get the ball to Jeremiah Smith in that receiving core. Obviously, we know Dylan Gabriel in this offense has been a well-oiled machine all season long. It's really going to be about which defense steps up, which defense affects the run game the most, which defense is better in the trenches. I think that'll be the biggest determining factor of a winner in this Rose Bowl.
All right, well, look for it. As you mentioned, this is at the Rose Bowl, Oregon and Ohio State. You played for Alabama, won 2 national championships, with Nick Saban. You actually believe and prefer the quarterfinals should remain as bowl games and not be on-campus games. Tell me why.
No, absolutely. Because I think that the semifinals was good, right? fans, students are on campus, so you get these sellouts, you get a lot of people in action. But for quarterfinals, bowl games like the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, the Cotton Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, these are traditions that college football fans have loved for years and years on end. Those traditions are just as equally as important as the traditions for their own schools. I mean, people talk about the Rose Bowl and some of their fight songs. Like, it is that important. And I think traditions like these are why fans continue to prefer college game over NFL football. And I think that in totality, whenever you look at it, there's a lot of tradition that's being lost. Kids are transferring all over the place. They're staying at these programs from 1.5 years to 2 years, and they're going somewhere else. And there's a fear that fans are going to start to lose their loyalty as well to these programs because the kids aren't being loyal. They're up and leaving. Coaches are going anywhere. So again, if you continue to water down the product by taking away these prestigious bowl games and the tradition that comes with them, I think you'll start to get a diluted product as a result.
Yeah, great perspective from our own Damien Harris joining us here on CBS Sports HQ. What I've taken away from this is just you can't please everyone. We'll leave it there. Thanks so much, Damien.
You can't.
We appreciate